women are not desirable right now. Everyone's a Kim Kardashian clone. I asked you earlier, what don't men want? And you said promiscuity. Well, that seems about the only thing that's being offered right now. When I open my Instagram and I've got butt cheeks and I'm going, people are like, I don't understand why no one wants to, this woman's been married 4 times. I'm like, well, I can understand it, because even if men think they want it in the short term, when you see a girl, she's half naked, she looks good. Yeah, sure. You probably do want to have sex with her. I bet you're wired that way. You're hardwired that way. Yeah. But then what happens after you have sex with her and you realize that so did 20 other dudes
100%.
in the same week, you don't want her.
You nailed it. You absolutely not only nailed it.
It's sad and frustrating to see society come to this, because it shouldn't be like this. There's a reason why waiting till marriage was pushed a long time ago, because it meant being exclusive to one person. And this goes for men as well. Marriages and relationships were possible because people were disciplined and respectful. Sure, not all men were virgins back in the day, but the intimacy didn't affect them like it did women, which is why women were always protected by their fathers and even brothers. Indeed, men who never get married sometimes lead happier, more fulfilling lives. Therefore, regardless of your relationship status, if you're unsure about whether marriage is the best decision for you, we can offer you some advice. You must comprehend why marriage is not as significant as it is portrayed to be. The notion of forever and happily ever after may seem too unrealistic for them to consider to be true, which is one of the reasons why men no longer desire to get married.
Does that make sense for you as far as like why divorce is inherently more risky for men?
I just feel like you're saying because women tend to be the person who initiates a divorce, correct?
Yes.
That's why it's riskier for men. But why do women tend to end divorces? With successful men that have money, they cheat.
She said it earlier.
They do all these things that women don't want to put up with.
She said it earlier. It's
so
a feeling.
why?
Feelings change from day to day.
Yeah. So I could have been in love with the person at the moment, but if that person is no longer treating me well just because we're married, I have to say no.
That's the point.
Because he can't be a good husband.
So as a man,
that's all I'm asking.
If I marry you and you decide, you know what, he's not the guy I thought he was anymore, I'm leaving. You take half my stuff, and maybe.
So is there no risk without reward?
So what?
You married me, right?
No. So once again, this is why
you
men
wanted to marry me.
Don't want to get married.
You loved me enough that it would be worth it to you to marry me and take the risk.
Hold on, stop the show. You just basically admitted it with your own words. Why guys don't get married?
Men who grew up in dysfunctional families and have first-hand experience with the toxins that unhappy marriages can produce may find this to be especially true. Some guys fall in love, but they don't require a marriage license to demonstrate their dedication to their spouses. Additionally, some guys merely do not believe that marriage is worth the effort. A lot of women's strategy to get married is to gaslight. She will tell you that she doesn't believe in divorce, that marriage is the most special thing ever. Then post-marriage, she will tell you that it's just a piece of paper and people are allowed to change. So essentially, this leaves you having loved a person that never existed.
I just think marriage is a no. In today's day and age, I mean, there's obviously the tradition component if you're religious, but you know, when it comes to the government involvement and the potential financial ramifications of having to unwind a marriage, it does not make sense. So don't get married, guys. Don't do it. You do, but you could have a life partner, for example, but you just don't need the government involved.
Exactly
in that.
right. Yeah.
Okay.
And fully wants the whole white picket fence. We are husband and wife, but I just don't feel the need to go and sign some paper that lets them know that we are.
Yep.
Studies show a decline in marriage rates. In the US, there were 340,000 fewer marriages in 2020 than there were in 2019. The decline of 16.8% is sufficient evidence that males are delaying marriage. But why is this taking place? According to University of Maryland sociology professor Philip Cohen, women's independence and gender equality is a huge factor in the long-term decline in marriage. Some men feel that laws are biased against them. You should pursue your aspirations while you're still in your 20s, even if you're still unsure of what you want in a partner. Many young men today are afraid that getting married may interfere with their ambitions and plans for the future. The good news for guys is that they are less concerned about their biological clock than women are. However, the social pressure on many males to achieve financial security before marriage is a drawback. These elements have a part in men's declining marriage rates nowadays. A successful marriage is not everyone's cup of tea. Almost half of all marriages end in divorce, which makes me question the purpose behind marriage in the first place. Plus, divorce is a long drawn-out legal battle that saps your resources and continues to do so even after the proceedings. Sometimes, even with a prenup involved, the divorce doesn't go down smoothly. Marriage just feels like you're setting yourself up for financial and mental pain in the future, so why do it? According to studies, 50% of marriages in the US end in divorce, and 80% of those divorces are initiated by women. Since women are more likely to initiate divorce, men usually end up paying a lot more for a divorce. The fear of being financially exploited is one of the reasons behind men avoiding marriage nowadays. Research has found that more women initiate divorce than men, and up to 70% of no-fault divorces are started by women. In the United States, no-fault divorces are legal in all 50 states, and research estimates put the figure of women starting divorce proceedings at 70%. While in the UK, 62% of divorces are started by women. Researchers are saying that women's independence is the reason why more women now want to initiate divorce, and that it is due to feminism that women have such a high number in this particular statistic. According to a BBC article, many women's expectations when they enter marriage may fail to match reality. Experts say that they often have a higher expectation of how a partner will meet their emotional needs than men, which can lead to disappointment post-wedding. Here's another statistic that will shock you. Most women get primary custody of children in the vast majority of divorce cases, so women may feel they have less to lose when filing for divorce compared to men. And in some ways, they are right. Evidence shows men's well-being tends to drop much more dramatically immediately following a divorce. This shows that men are more likely to be worse off than ever before after marriage. And this is one of the reasons why more and more men are avoiding marriage. The research also adds that men tend to get lonelier after a divorce, while women are more likely to find a partner and settle down with another man. Coming to no-fault divorces. No-fault divorce is a type of divorce where the applicant or applicants don't need to provide reasons to the law for filing for divorce. This means that anyone can file for divorce at any time and not give any reason for doing so, and the state does not legally need any reason from them to pursue the divorce case. Historically, men were the primary wage earners. Women desired these rich, resourceful men. Society has changed dramatically since then. Nowadays, women are earning money at high rates. In some cases, they are the breadwinners, out-earning their husbands. This is an issue for women desiring a partner who is wealthy and more successful than they are. Being the breadwinner also tends to lead to relationship dissatisfaction for married women who earn more than their husbands and achieve a higher status. It's even worth it to say that the safe way a man can get married is if the woman makes more and there are no children. When I say safe, I mean financially. Unless you're a Cha or Tyrone, you won't be respected at all. Also, you're going to have to lower your beauty standards. No pretty woman is even noticing a non-Chad that makes less than her. It just isn't worth it. The problem men have today is that we've been educated that men and women are equal. There was this sense and understanding that men are providers where they are the breadwinners for the family, as well as their protectors from other men or the evils of society. And if you don't provide that role, you'd get kicked out of your community. Or if the man is an alcoholic or an abuser, he'd be divorced. So that's what divorce used to mean for men. But now, after the feminist no-fault divorce phenomenon, it has changed the game entirely. It's a revolutionary shift designed to subjugate men and empower women beyond law and responsibility. They say that married men have the most money, single men have some money, and divorced men have no money. Marriage is not just financially risky for men, but also emotionally taxing as well. Women become bossy, annoying, and emotionally distant after marriage. So, if men want a happy relationship with their women, don't marry them. On the other side, getting married is the best financial decision a woman can make. It's the fastest step she can take to climb the socioeconomic ladder and reach new heights in society. Getting married is the worst financial decision a man can make. Don't get married. Don't have children with them. Don't let them move in. Don't give them a key to your house. Don't let them know where you live. Don't give them your real name. With $40,000 to $50,000, imagine what these couples could have done if they had saved that amount instead, or invested is somewhere to grow for their future. Also, do you see how it's the ladies who start blabbering when asked about the wedding cost? Yeah, that's because they're the ones who usually want the glitz and glam and extravagant affair to polish their bruised egos inside. Here are some statistics for you guys. When we say that 50 to 60% of marriages end in divorce, don't think you have about a 50% chance of being happy. Of 100 men getting married, 50 will divorce within 10 years, and 40 will be stuck in a miserable dysfunctional marriage that they endure for the sake of the kids or other reasons. Open marriage, serial cheating, sexless marriage, etc. Only about 10 will be a marriage that is functional, where each partner is better off together than on their own. Marriage is a scam for any man. If a chick loves you, there are no titles needed. Real mutual love is expressed through your actions and words, how you treat them, how you worship and love each other, keep each other happy, and everything in between. No titles like marriage are needed in a real loving relationship. So if she wants a ring, then she wants your money. If you don't believe me, just get a cheap ring and see how she reacts. If she gets mad, she wants your money. Until the climate changes in Western societies, I cannot think of an instance when it is a safe, logical, or even good choice for a man to get married, not even with a great prenup. It's also not wise for a man in Western society to live with a woman until the climate/culture/laws, etc. Go through major reforms. It's one thing if I want to give my women half my net worth in alimony. It's quite another to have it taken from me without my choice or permission. The women should be given what the man chooses to give them, and at this point, I choose to give nothing. Child support is something else altogether, because it's supposed to be for the sake of your children. But giving up assets and paying out cash every month, and having it just taken without having a choice, has killed marriage. There are probably some women who might like to be my traditional housewife, or even a working partner, but it's just too risky. The roles of men and women in marriage are shifting dramatically as society's core structure is being radically altered. Men are having a hard time adjusting to a world where patriarchy no longer exists. In the end, relinquishing power is not simple. This is the actual cause of the high number of unhappy marriages. Men feel that laws are biased against them, and they have good reason to believe that. Thanks for watching Man Reacts. Show us your love and support by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. Support us and help us spread support for men around the world. Do comment and share your thoughts. We're always up for a healthy debate and discussion.